social, you said that you were going to cut aid from South Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South
No,
Africa?
it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gospel CD. So guys, let's go to the United States of America, where Donald Trump has made a threat to South Africa because he believes, according to his ex that I'm going to read to you, he says South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. It is a bad situation that the radical left media doesn't want to so much as a mention. A massive human rights violation at a minimum is happening for all to see. The United States won't stand for it. We will take action. Also, I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of this situation has been completed. If you asked me, it's giving weapons of mass destruction. Do you know what happened thereafter? That's what it's giving to me. So, of course, South African president responded, setting the record straight about South Africa. And he says, South Africa is a constitutional democracy that is deeply rooted in the rule of law, justice, and equality. The South African government has not confiscated any land. The recently adopted Expropriation Act is not a confiscation instrument, but a constitutionally mandated legal process that ensures public access to land in an equitable and just manner as guided by the Constitution. South Africa, like the United States of America and other countries, has always had expropriation laws that balance the need for public usage of land and the protection of rights of property owners. We look forward to engaging with the Trump administration over our land reform policy and issues of bilateral interest. We are certain that out of those engagements, we will share a better and common understanding over these matters. Now, what I also found interesting after what's his name, the president. Okay, let's read possibly the rest. Okay, then Ramaphosa continues to say the U.S. remain a key strategic, political, and trade partner for South Africa, with the exception of PEPFAR aid, which constitutes 17% of South Africa's HIV/AIDS program. There is no other funding that is received by South Africa from the United States. I was like, okay, good. At least you're setting the record straight. Then in came Elon Musk on that very same post. I'm trying to find what he said. Oh, yeah, and then Elon Musk on this tweet by Ramaphosa, and he says, why do you have openly racist ownership laws? And I'm like, okay, what's happening? Because Elon Musk right now, he is one of the most influential advisors of the Trump administration. So if he is the one that is feeding Trump all of this, then South Africa, I don't think we're in trouble only based on fundings, inverted comma, from the United States, but other things. But now, if you asked me as well, when South Africa took Israel to the ICJ, I was like, okay, I think in a few months down the line, South Africa will start seeing some consequences coming from the United States and the friends and allies of Israel. Whether that is within the Democratic Party in the United States or the Republican Party in the United States. Either way, South Africa, there was a plan on us to get, I don't know, to be sanctioned or something, because we are taking a human rights stance that is fighting for humanity in the Middle East. So I that's what I thought, and I've always had that in the back of my mind that this has absolutely nothing to do with aid. We're only getting this U.S. aid for HIV/AIDS from USAID. That's the only funding that Ramaphosa is saying that we get from the United States, and only 17% of it. The rest, South Africa funds these programs on its own. So that is why in my head I'm like, no. This sounds to me 2001 weapons of mass destruction. Now they are saying that we are committing atrocious human rights in South Africa. With a progressive constitution in the world? Nah. No, this is just a ground that is being foundationed so that they, when they start sending armies and all that stuff to South Africa, they will say, oh no, there were human rights violations going on there. So we were coming in to rescue that group of people that are being marginalized by the South African government. Is that what I'm seeing here? Because that's what I'm seeing. That is what I am seeing. Clearly, Mr. Trump is ill-informed about what's going on in South Africa. But then again, I'm not surprised that he's ill-informed. Donald Trump has never cared for Africa. Ever. He never cared for Africa. So whatever he's told, he is going to blind react to it. But he says, according to Donald Trump, that there are investigations that are being conducted on South Africa regarding this matter of human rights violation and land grab. And when Ramaphosa did sign the Expropriation Act, I was like, okay, now let's hear from the United States what they're going to say. And here we are now. So, of course, there will be a discussion, a bilateral discussion between Donald Trump and the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa regarding this matter. And whoever is doing the investigations, I hope they will give us the courtesy of informing us that they are here, because South Africa is still a sovereign country and you can't just come and do investigations without first informing the people that are custodians of our sovereignty. Sovereignty being the operative word. So brace yourselves, South Africans, because I think we're not only having Rwanda on our hands, now we have Donald Trump on our hands, and it's going to be rough from what I can tell. And I hope I am wrong, that this is going to be dealt with as soon as possible. Also, I think the G20 is taking place sometime later this year. Hopefully by then things will be ironed out and Donald Trump will be in a better position to understand that South Africa is the pedestal of human rights and humanity, and there will be no way that we are a country that is violating human rights. We will not be fighting human rights in the ICJ for what's happening in the Middle East while we are also busy committing such crimes. I understand that there are some people that are crying that they are being wiped out. I'm not quite sure how they are being wiped out. And apparently the far left media or extreme left media, whatever media he says, they are not covering this up. I mean, they're not covering up. They're not covering in the media. So clearly he's also going to be sending Fox News journalists here. We all know what Fox News journalists do. Yeah, we all know what they do. So I don't know, guys. It's going to be an interesting 4 years going forward. And it looks like we are now going to be in the radar of Donald Trump finally as the president of the United States. We never have. Now we are going, which is going to be interesting. What's going to happen to AGOA is what I want to know, because AGOA, I believe, has a number of South Africans that are employed. And if he pulls out of AGOA, then thousands and thousands of jobs are going to be lost as well. This is going to be interesting. I don't know. What do you think, fellow South Africans? Make your comments and let's see what your thoughts are. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. But yeah, it is what it is. If there is indeed a wipeout of a group of people, then definitely investigations needs to be conducted, and some answering needs to be made as well. If there is such, then there is ICJ. Take us to ICJ. Take us to ICJ. Anyways, guys, don't leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. See you later. Goodbye.